Hello and welcome to this evening's gentle yoga flow. Before we get started, I highly recommend you set up a cozy and comfortable environment to practice in today. So light a few candles, dim the lights, or grab a glass of warm water. Also grab a pillow if you have one handy because we will be using that today. Otherwise, coming into a seated position to get started today. Rest your hands on your knees, keeping the crown of the head tall. Starting to find inhales and exhales through the nose, releasing any tension that you may have built up throughout the day. When you're ready, begin to find these neck rolls as you drop your right ear to your right shoulder. And just let the crown of your head draw circles as you release tension in your neck and your upper back. Taking your time here, really drawing large circles. Moving in the opposite direction when you're ready, finding it on the opposite side. Moving with the breath. Come back through center. Drop your right ear to your right shoulder and place your right hand over your left ear, putting some weight on your head. Finding a deep stretch from the top of your left shoulder up to the crown of your head. Drop your hand and drop your head to your other side now, so left ear comes to left shoulder. Place your left hand on your right ear, again putting some pressure down, finding a stretch from your right shoulder through your right neck and up to the crown of the head. Release. Drop your chin to your chest and drop your head back, finding a deep stretch in the neck and the base of your head. Release as your arms come up, gaze up on an inhale. Interlace your fingers and push up toward the sky, beginning to bend to the left, keeping your arms reaching up, staying really strong in your core here, finding a stretch on the right side of your body. Coming through center as you drop to the other side this time, finding a deep stretch in the left side of your body. Breathe. Come back through center. Find cactus arms. As you squeeze your elbows together, arms come to a 90-degree angle. Round your back and point your fingers straight toward you. Repeat this a few times, finding a gentle flow as you move between cactus and then pointing and touching your fingers together. Begin to find a circular-like movement between these transitions, moving the hips a bit more, finding what feels really nice and releasing in your body here. Really listening to what you need to release any tension. Arms come back up. Bring your hands to opposite elbows above your head and again drop to the left, finding a deeper stretch in your body this time. Bring your left hand to your right knee as you begin to find circles in the shoulder. So drawing large circles with your right hand, going very slow and really feeling the movement. Arms come back over your head with your hands grabbing opposite elbows. This time dropping to the right. Feeling a stretch on your left side body. Bring your right hand to your left knee this time as you find big circles with your left hand. Finding a deep stretch in your left shoulder. Inhale your arms up to the sky. And then bring your arms down, hooking your right arm to your left knee, gazing back and over your left shoulder. Taking deep breaths as you feel a release in your lower back. Arms come up through center and then drop them back to the other side. Hooking your left hand to your right knee this time, gazing back behind your right shoulder. Inhaling deeply and twisting deeper to release more tension in your lower back here. Breathe. Come through center. We'll come into some seated cat-cow to stretch out the spine. So on your next exhale, begin to tuck your pelvis, tuck your hips, and bring your chin to your chest, rounding through the upper back. Keeping your hands where they are, begin to bend the elbows, push your chest open and forward toward the sky, and then round back. You can transition between a cat-cow-like position. Finding circles in the hips as you begin to draw circles, leading with the crown of your head. Opening up the hips, getting a deep stretch around the groin area. Or you can remain in seated cat-cow. Whichever feels nice for you here. Remember to switch directions if you do find these hip circles. And release. Coming onto all fours when you're ready, so stacking your shoulders above your wrists and your hips above your knees. Extend your right foot behind you, coming up high on the toes, and begin to shift your weight back and forth. Staying strong through the arms, keeping your core nice and tight. Releasing tension in your hamstring and in the back of your right leg. You can find circles in the ankle as you shift back and forth. Find stillness and then raise your right leg up and drop it to the left side of the mat, gazing over to the left side. Bringing it back through center and then finding these ankle twists, releasing tension in the joint. Place your knee back down next to your left knee. Extend your left foot back this time, staying up high on the toes and shifting your body weight back and forth. Continuing these or finding circles in the ankle. Find stillness. Lift your left leg up and drop it to the right side of your mat. Bring your left leg back through center and begin to find your ankle rolls. Bringing your left knee down to meet your right. Moving your hips back over your heels as you push your hips up and back to find downward facing dog. Spread all fingertips nice and wide as you actively push out from the hands. Find a slight tuck in your pelvis to push your ankles toward the mat. Begin to find these pedals as you bend one knee and extend the other leg out straight and alternate. Finding calf raises as you lift and drop your heels up and back onto the mat. If you have your pillow handy, go ahead and grab that. You can find child's pose without your pillow, that's totally fine. Just place it in between your knees and begin to fold forward over your pillow or cushion, or simply fold forward onto the mat, making sure your big toes are touching and your hands can interlace, or you can extend them out long in front of you. Resting your forehead on the mat or one side of the cheek. Taking a few breaths here. Slowly come back up and place your pillow or cushion back out to the side. Coming onto the knees, coming into tabletop pose. Begin to walk your hands out in front of you, keeping your hips up and lifted toward the sky. Finding melting heart pose. So knees are hip width distance apart. Actively pressing out of your hands, pushing your chest toward the mat. Finding a deep stretch across your chest. Begin to settle into the mat, bringing your forehead to touch. If you would like to deepen the stretch, you can come onto your fingertips or onto your chin. Bringing your palms to touch where they are, begin to walk your elbows closer to each other and then drive your thumbs toward the base of your head, finding a stretch in your triceps and in the back of your arms. Slowly release. Palm the mat, coming back into tabletop, and then lowering your body all the way to the mat. So palm the mat just beside your rib bone. Squeeze your elbows into your body as you push up through the upper back into baby cobra. Slowly release the left side of your head to the mat, releasing your arms beside you as you take a few breaths. Finding baby cobra again, so squeezing your elbows toward your body, pressing your feet into the mat as you push up into baby cobra, gazing over your right shoulder. Release back down, coming into baby cobra once again, releasing your head to the left side this time, and coming back down, releasing your arms out beside you with your right cheek on the mat this time. Coming through center, palm the mat. Place your left forearm parallel to the front of the mat and begin to bend your right knee. Reach your right hand for your right foot as you push your foot closer to your glute, finding a quad stretch and a slight heart opener. You can face your fingertips the same way as your toes if that feels nice. It gives you a deeper sensation in your chest and shoulder as well. Taking a few deep breaths here. Slowly release as you repeat this, as you find this on the other side, bringing your right forearm parallel to the mat as you grab your left foot with your left hand. Again, finding the variation where your fingertips are facing the front of the mat, otherwise pushing your foot closer toward your glute. And slowly release. Palm the mat, push your hips back to your heels, coming into a seated position. Moving to the center of the mat as you come into a comfortable laying position. Bring your right knee to your chest. Use your right hand to push your knee out, finding a stretch in your right hip. Coming through center, begin to grab your right knee with your left hand, extending your right arm to the side, maybe finding cactus arm as you push your right knee over to the left side of your mat, finding a supine twist. Inhale deeply here, really releasing tension in your lower back. If facing your right hand is too much, you can rest the left side of your face on the mat instead. Slowly release. Bend your left knee as you hug your left knee toward your chest. And using your left hand, begin to push your left knee towards the left side of the mat, finding a stretch in your left hip. Reach your right hand for your left knee as you extend your left arm out beside you, again finding cactus arms if that feels nice. And begin to move your left knee over to the right side of your mat this time, finding breath in your lower back stretch. Then dropping your head to face your left hand or dropping it to the right, whichever feels nice in this moment. Slowly release. Finding happy baby as you grab for your feet, pushing your knees to the outside of your ribs, really making sure your lower back is pressed into the mat here and your feet stay flexed toward the sky. Release your feet back to the mat. And we'll find one last back bend here to finish off our class today before we find Shavasana. Coming up onto your forearms, make sure your fingertips are just brushing the back of your glutes. Push your weight up through the elbows, really expanding your chest toward the sky. If it feels comfortable, you can also drop your head back, staying strong through the forearms and through the chest. Slowly release. We'll now come into our final resting pose. So you can reach for your pillow or cushion here and place it at the top of your mat. Find a comfortable laying position, taking up as much room as you like. So really extend your legs out, extend your arms out, release any tension, really sinking into the mat. So release your feet, your ankles, your shins, your calves, your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes, your hips. Release tension in your stomach, your hands, your fingertips, your forearms, your upper arms, your chest, shoulders, your back, your neck, your jaw, your cheeks, your eyebrows, your forehead, and the crown of your head. Completely settling into this pose for the next few minutes, and I'll call you back when it's time to end the flow today. Begin to roll your toes, your ankles, your wrists, your fingertips, finding small movement to wake up the body. Remove your pillow if you have that under your head and begin to reach your hands up and over, pointing the toes, finding a full body stretch. When you're ready, lay on one side of your body in this fetal position You have the option to place your pillow or your cushion between your knees, resting your head over your arm, just laying here, really settling into the breath. Slowly begin to come back up into a seated position. I really hope you enjoy the rest of your night or the rest of your day, depending on when you're practicing, and I really thank you for joining me on the mat today. I hope you found peace and calmness in this flow. If you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what other videos you would like to see on my channel. Namaste.